Hi, everybody. My name is Mike Manning.
And I'm Trinity French.
And we are your business coaches at Wired to Change.
With the number 2.
We help you get your business to the level you want it to be so you can enjoy the life of a small business owner.
And today is a sunny, gorgeous, amazing day to be a topless real estate agent.
Cut. Yes, and you are. You literally.
And I am.
Yes.
I'm literally topless today.
Yep.
I'm driving the red Jeep. And it is a glorious, beautiful day, and I'm so excited to be a business owner today. It's one of those days you just wake up and you're like, today, nothing has absolutely sucked. Everything's been fantastic, which you have to cherish these days.
And another reason why you enjoyed driving the Jeep, because nobody else could, was why?
Well, because Scott's sitting at home working, and I got to drive the Jeep.
Because he can't leave the house. He's been working from home, and he can't drive to work.
Sorry, baby.
So our guest today.
A very, 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 very special guest. Our new and dear friend.
Yes.
Clint Webb. And Clint is with, I'm going to slaughter this already, Coeco?
Coeco.
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 Coeco. Coeco Office Systems. They do copiers, printers, managed IT, all that jazz. But the reason that we brought Clint on today is because he is an up-and-coming, like when somebody says, who's the best networker, you're starting to like inch up there in those upper echelons of like really good networkers.
Because we both met him today. We've been on Zoom calls with you on webinars. But we had physically never met Clint until today.
This is the first time face to face that wasn't with a video between us. Yep. But we had a really fun one-to-one.
Yeah.
And
really quick.
Not surprising.
very quick, very fun. And I was like, sometimes you just meet people and you're like, this person has to be on the podcast. So how are you doing today?
It's hot.
It is. It's brutal.
I'm doing great. I got my run in, my meditation, my everything. So I'm good to go. I got dinner later with the family. So other than that, it's been a great day.
And between him and Drago, I learned about the 8-hour eating window.
Oh.
Yeah, intermittent fasting.
Yeah, intermittent fasting.
Noonday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You got 8 hours. And they say you can eat whatever you want, but after a while, you don't want to eat that much. And
well, you don't want to eat that much, and you don't want to eat the crap you used to eat. Now you want to put better stuff in your body. It makes you more conscious of what you eat because you have a limited amount of time to enjoy it.
now you could do that because we've had many a podcast where you've looked at me and said, Mike, I forgot to eat today.
Yes.
Life of a salesperson.
It happens a lot. So I kind of do intermittent fasting just by accident because I don't like to eat after 8 if I can help it, even though Scott and I do have a really ridiculous pudding addiction right now. Like, I feel like I'm 5. Like, we make pudding almost every night. Yes.
Now, I don't know what you did before and right after you got married, but before Trinity and Scott got married, lovely, hey, Scott, was making Trinity lunches every day with a little note, love you, sweetie, can't wait to marry you, blah, all this stuff, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
2 months after the wedding, had made a lunch sense.
Right? And now that he's working from home, don't you think he should be making me lunch every day?
One would think.
You would think so.
Because he can wear his headset into the kitchen and
Exactly.
explain to
Take
people what they need
calls.
because he knows it all.
Yeah. I mean, I could give his freaking sales presentation. So
Here's the plug for gotomeeting.com. Ask for Scott. You will be well taken care of.
yes, you will.
So we're equal opportunity here, Scott.
The pudding addiction is a real thing, and we've made the healthy pudding really unhealthy by adding chocolate chips to it.
Healthy pudding?
Healthy pudding, yeah.
But if it's before 8, Clint, is that healthier, or
I mean,
can we split hairs here?
It's just not.
Yeah.
It's not worse. It's better than after 8. So
Right. And by healthy pudding, I mean it's better than a bowl of ice cream.
See, we were just
So
talking
it was
about this.
yes,
Just talking
like,
about this.
It's on the scale of like good to evil in food world. Pudding is like at a 6 versus ice cream's at like a 12.
Man, that's too
Clint
bad.
was saying he's on a
Yeah.
90-day challenge, and the first 30
Oh,
days.
no sugar?
No, hang on a second. It gets better. The first 30 days, he gave up candy.
Because I'm a gummy bear, Sour Patch Kid.
Yes,
stuff
we
like
talked
that.
about that.
But he
yeah.
replaced it with ice cream, so I don't think.
I did. So the next 30 days, I gave up ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so now I'm on the latter part of the beginning part of the last 90 days.
But because he's a golfer, and for all you golf fans out there, if you have a choice to give up alcohol or chips and you're a golfer, what do you give up? Goodbye chips.
Give up chips.
See ya, chips.
100%.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Oh, all
Even
day
the
long.
kettle chips, right?
Even every chip.
All day
All right,
long.
so we are here today. We bring you all kinds of nuggets about running your own business, and there's more things we don't know before we start our business that we do know. We know we have to sell. We know we have to maybe hire people. We know we're going to work our ass off. But what a lot of people don't know before they run a business, if they've never networked, is you got to get your name out there.
100%.
And you are, now here's what I love about you on your description on LinkedIn. I am a dad, husband, diehard Tar Heel, avid golf enthusiast, and connector.
Right.
And nowhere on there do you have the word sales.
No, because I don't consider myself a salesperson or a salesy person, however you want to say it. I don't agree with a lot of the way that old school sales was done, the bulldog approach.
Always
all that
be
stuff.
Right,
Right, yeah.
Such a good movie, though.
Yeah, it really is, man.
Glenn
There's a
Gary,
lot of
Glenn
them.
Ross, if
There's
you've
a lot
never
of them.
seen it.
Man, great flick.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm more of a relationship builder, and you're going to want to do business with me because you like me, know me, trust me. Yeah.
So if we have somebody relatively new in the small business world and they haven't done much networking and don't know a lot of people yet, and they're told about a networking event by a friend, hey, Clint, you need to go here Thursday night. You're going to meet a lot of people. I'll be there, but I'll be there late. So you show up at 7, I'll be there about 8, and I'll help introduce you to people. What's the prep work that our new guy or gal has to do before the meeting and then between 7 and 8 before their wingman gets there?
Well, first thing I would say is don't go alone. Never go to a networking event alone. I have a core group of people that I network with, and that is very important to me and vital to my business. I mean, really, you just can't go in thinking you're going to sell something. Like you don't want to do that. You don't want to be the elevator pitch person. I'm not going to go up and shake your hand in 30 seconds, be done, and then move on to the next person. I'm going to stand there and have a conversation and bring other people in to this conversation.
And you're not going to sell off that handshake there either. The odds of that are astronomical.
No, absolutely
the
not.
people that just verbally vomit on you, and you're
worst.
like,
I
bye.
love the guy with the business card in the left hand and his
That's
right hand out. It's like
not
just keep walking past
Nope,
me.
see ya.
Now, if I can brag on my wingman, here's her approach to a networking event.
Well, are you going to tell them?
No, I'm gonna let you because you tell
Well,
it
the
better.
way that I know if you know it is if you can tell the story right.
So Trinity is invited to Clint's networking event tonight and on Thursday. So on Tuesday, Wednesday at noon at the latest, Trinity will make contact with Clint. Clint, it was recommended that I go to your networking event. I'm looking forward to it. Who are the 3 people I need to meet?
Sure.
And Clint will say Scott, Dirk, and Mike. Just for the sakes of the story.
Pretty accurate,
right?
though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Trinity will walk in and she'll meet Scott first, and she'll say, "Hi, Scott. My name is Trinity. I'm a realtor with Hunter Row. Clint told me you were the one of the 3 most important people for me to meet at the meeting." Off and running. Changes everything, doesn't it?
And then she'd be having a 30-minute conversation with Scott. Because
Right.
that's what
And
Scott
then he
does.
thinks,
Yes.
dang, Clint said that about me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then that strengthens your relationship.
Well, it's funny because Scott says the same things about me that I say about him. So, he's the master networker. He's the best connector. He's the guy you want to know. That's how I approach it with Scott every time.
But if she were to walk up to you at that event and say, "Hey, Scott said I need to meet you," man, your whole body changes, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Your
absolutely.
body language. I mean, everything's like, "Oh, well, how can I help you?"
Well, and it gives me a purpose when I go into a networking event. I don't always have somebody that goes with me. Sometimes I actually prefer to go on my own because it just gets me outside of my bubble of the people that I typically network with. And then I bridge from that person. So if Clint introduced me to Scott, the next question I ask Scott is, all right, now who are 2 or 3 people that you really like here? And then I have him introduce me to those people. And now I have my core little group of 5 or 6 people that I met that I know are reputable, that are not that typical greasy salesperson.
Right, yeah.
And it makes my entire hour or two that I'm there so much more productive.
Absolutely.
And a whole lot more fun because I'm not having to, guard off the creepy dudes with the handout and the business card and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
Did I tell the story right?
You did. You
right, I
actually
did.
did better than I usually
What
do.
about the left pocket,
Oh,
right
left
pocket
pocket,
thing?
right
Thanks for
pocket.
listening.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that came about because I love follow-up after meetings.
No, she got turned down on Tinder. That's how that came.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
It
no,
is
wrong. Yeah, Tinder.
swipe
Yeah.
Tinder, yeah, swipe left and right. But it is like that because my left pocket is for the people that are ones I do not want to follow up with. And you only have so much time and the day. And for me, I categorize people based on, do I want to follow up with them? What was the first impression I received of them? Did I click with them? And then I'm going to write on that business card, Clint loves golf. Something that triggers a memory of something that we talked about. I'm going to stick that in my right pocket. And now I know to reach out to you and follow up and schedule a one-to-one or whatever the next step is in building our relationship. And then the people that are in my left pocket are the ones that I still put them in my database. Everyone thinks that's weird, but I put notes in there about why I thought they were kind of a weirdo. Creepy guy or guy that, instant sales pitch or whatever it is, because these people have a way of coming back around and I'm like, wait, where did I meet that person before? And I've had that happen multiple times, especially in classes that I teach. This is so freaking funny. I was teaching a class on how to be a great networker and talking about how my follow-up, and one of the girls had been in the class before and she said, oh, well, you never followed up with me. And all I could think is, yeah, because you're a left pocketer. And I skipped that part of my presentation because I was like, oh man, she's going to know that she was the left pocket.
You have been in sales. You were with Time Warner for years.
Over a decade.
What was the first, how did you get into networking, either with people or literally at events?
Well, I am an extreme extrovert anyway. So I'm always out and about with friends or meeting new people, just doing random stuff. But networking wise, I started in the business world in December of 2017. And when I got, I talked to a few friends who had done it before. So I was like, okay, so you just go out, you pull doors, you're just be yourself. It's like, okay, that's one part of the job, but that's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I made a plan. I have a teenage daughter, and so she didn't need the constant supervision at home. So I decided to pull doors from 10 to 2, wherever it was that I was working that day, and then go to a networking event. And my coworkers helped me a lot. One of my best friends, Anthony Gaines, and I used to work a lot together at Spectrum. So he used to go out in his territory and I would go out in my territory. We would be together. We'd like half the day, and we would always find a group to sit and have lunch with, or a networking group after hours or something that we could go to. And it led me to meeting the right people, and meeting the right people is all about it. It's
all about it.
It is. It's like, I've met Stephen David Elliott, who is huge in growing my network because his events are amazing. His North Hills networking through Rockstar Connect. I think the first one I went to was World of Beer, and was there for like 4 hours.
There's a lot of people there,
and met all the people.
Yeah.
All the people. And we have some similar networking styles. The four corners stuff and all this kind of stuff. So, I go with the right people. We tag team. We go out 2 at a time because I have, 8 to 10 that we normally meet at any given networking event. We're like, okay, we're going to go here. Y'all go here. Y'all go here. Let's send people back and forth.
You triangulate.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, love it.
So, and it's just one of those things that makes it easier. If you have like-minded people that aren't the salesy people, that just want to build relationships and have a good time and meet the like-minded people. Right. I want to go where there's drinks in the hand and they're just walking around talking, having a good time.
So you and Scott are in one corner. and Trinity and Deborah are in another corner. What do you need to hear from somebody that goes, you know what, you need to go talk to these two? What do they have to show you?
Well, first of all, I would trust anybody in that group to send me anything.
No, but if somebody walked up you didn't know and said, hey, I'm here, and you got talking to them, what would they have to show you before you sent them into your world?
Don't, like, if you're pushy and you're salesy and you come up and you immediately hand me a business card, I don't know you. You know, I have to like you, and I'm a pretty good judge of character because of the way, you know, the way that I work and stuff like that. You get to, you know, read people pretty quickly, and I just, you know, if I don't get a good vibe from them, like if I don't get a good energy from them, I'm just not going to. Yeah. It's not worth. It's, you know, they already took up my time. I'm not going to have them take up my friend's time. You know what I mean? You know.
So for all of you networkers out there or wannabe networkers, the key here is do not dive into your sales pitch. No. That's the very old school way of teaching people. Go out, get your 30-second speech out. No, nope. That is the most instantaneous way that you can turn somebody off. 100%. Because at that networking event, there's going to be 6 to 10 real estate agents. There's going to be 6 to 10 business coaches. There's going to be 1,000 people that sell insurance. So the only way to differentiate yourself is to be genuine and be authentic and actually develop some other relationship with people, relational collateral. That's why I always find out something that they like to do, or where do they like to travel, or what is it about them personally that we connect. Mike loves to connect with people based on sports.
Yeah, same.
That is his thing. Yep. Mine is usually drinking or wine or now Jeep stuff.
Also same.
Also same, yeah. So I think that those are the keys, is that, and there's some questions when I'm out networking that I have, like, I call them targeted chit chat. So I have industry related questions that I'll ask people to get them on talking about either real estate or business coaching, but I'm not just diving in telling them what I do. But then the conversation steers towards where I want it to go, and now we're having a conversation about something, and then I can mention, oh yeah, well, I'm actually in real estate, and they're like, oh wow, that's so cool, like we were just talking about houses for 10 minutes. So
you tell them what job you tell people you have.
Oh, so when I meet people, I will shake their hand and tell them that I'm an underwater welder.
Starts a conversation.
It starts a conversation. Yeah. They laugh. Most of the time, no one to date has ever said anything like, no, you're not. Yeah. They're always like, whoa, that's so cool. Because I say it very deadpan. Like, this is my job. Yeah. I own it. And I actually had one person, though, at a networking event that brought somebody else over to meet me. And they were like, Trinity, I want this person to meet you. This is Trinity. She owns a roller rink. He thought that I said that I owned a roller rink. And I was like, well, that's cool, too. But no, awesome, that would be amazing. Yeah. But I think that's a pattern interrupt. It's doing something that's diffusing it from just being that slimy person that's like, hey, I'm a real estate agent. Do you need to buy a house? Do you want to buy a house? Who do you know that wants to buy a house? Like, ugh, gross.
Yeah, it's the worst. I have a kind of a cliche question that but because Mike and I are the same way with this, like I try to connect with people with sports. It's like, where are you from?
Yep.
Simple, easy, and people like to talk about themselves.
10 schools in that area,
right? Or I've been to, because my daughter and I, we go to a different major league park every year for baseball, or we started to, and now we were going to go to Wrigley this year because we're both diehard Cubs fans. I've been, she hasn't. She's graduating this year, and so Cubs Red Sox Wrigley Field was going to be her graduation present, but that's not going to happen. Yeah. So, but it's like I've either been to that stadium or know something about that I can talk to. And then I can make it personal for them, because people love to talk about themselves, right? So make it personal for them, let them talk, and then all of a sudden it's either a conversation or you really don't have anything interesting to say. Yeah, and the other piece of being a really good networker is when those people have nothing to say or you don't connect, being able to gracefully piece out of there. Yeah. And sometimes it's just a matter of, I'm like, oh, I see somebody across the room that I need to go say hi to. It's been so great talking with you. Yeah. And then that's when your partners come into play. Yes, absolutely. I'm like, I gotta go visit Mike and Clint over there. Or you see somebody else that that's right around the shoulder, like over your shoulder, and you're like, have you met
Yeah.
Have a good night, guys.
And I always like to ask people, if I'm introduced to you at a meeting, the first question I would ask you, for a number of reasons, but the first question is, so how do you know if it's Trinity's event? So how do you know Trinity? And just, I'm wanting to see, man, can you pivot? Are you here to meet people?
Yep.
What are you? And you can read, and you know this, certain questions, you just read people real quick.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, I was here to sell, weren't you?
It's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
And if that is your, if that's what you're going into it with with the purpose that I'm going to sell something today,
might as well stay home.
You might, exactly. Now, if you go into it, so I'll make a game of it and say, okay, today I want to meet 10 new people or 5 new people or whatever it is. And I challenge myself to step out of my comfort zone because unlike you, I'm a very shy extrovert. So going to a networking event makes me feel kind of like uncomfortable.
I've heard that a lot from people, and I've my daughter is that same way, but she was working for the Chamber of Commerce. She was doing an internship, and I kind of got her out of that shell. And we were at a networking event in Hillsborough because that's where she worked in the chamber. And I was like, "Hey, there's the mayor. Go meet him. Go talk to him. Strike up a conversation." And she was like, "Dad, I'm shy and I don't really want to." I'm like, "Go,
do it.
Believe me, you'll thank me." And she ended up talking to him for like 20 minutes.
That's awesome.
It depends on the approach.
Right. It's like,
hi, Mr. Mayor, I'm an intern with the chamber. I just wanted to come up and say hi. Thank you for coming.
Right.
They'll take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. People want to help.
Especially
Most people want to help. Oh, yeah. Yeah. What kind of follow-up system did you develop over time?
I just, similar to Trinity, I keep cards of people that I want to talk to and don't discard them, but have, I don't really want to talk to them and give them pile, but so I usually just stack business cards up from the day before or the event before and just email. Nice to meet you guys. Hopefully we get to connect at another networking event. I hope you have a great day. Like nothing salesy, nothing, well, here's this information that we talked about, or here's this information I think you may need to know, but just follow up with just a personal message. What I actually like to do more than emails, text them, because I'd rather check a text than my email, and I'd rather you text me than call me.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So maybe that's because I was on the phone in the call center for 5.5 years, but it's just one of those things that I'd just rather.
A text is nice because you can respond to it when you have time.
Right.
Yeah.
Versus when somebody calls me, I feel like there's a whole lot more urgency there.
Yep.
That I'm like, okay, I'm going to forget to answer this call. And then whether or not, if you leave me a voicemail, I'm going to be annoyed because the voicemail says, hey, it's Trinity, call me back. I'm like, yeah, Diltard, like I totally get it. Like you called me, you want me to call you back, but a text message is a great way to go.
And then there's a difference between a text and an email, because a text I can, 8 words.
Yeah.
But with an email, let me reset
and think about how much more personal a text message is.
Big time.
Texting is like, hey, we're moving towards like buddy zone now. In the text world.
In a text, you could tell him, hey, give me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think twice about it. But in an email, hey, I'm a little busy this afternoon. And you go, it's 3 sentences later, you said, give me 2.
Yeah.
But I also like using LinkedIn, right? So because
that's how you and I have conversed today.
Today, yes, because
Dude, here's how good he is. At 2:18, I get a message on LinkedIn, I'm here. And I'm like, I'll be there in 15. And folks, by the way, we started taping at 3, and at 2:18 he says, like, all right, I'll be there in 15. And then we've been chatting ever since. But I like early, and we agree that we like early. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do late. Yeah. But the LinkedIn thing that Deborah showed me, the QR code thing, you guys know about this on LinkedIn, where on your mobile device, you on the top screen, there's on the main screen, there's a white bar, like a white search bar. And on the right-hand side of that white search bar is 4 little dots that look like a QR code. So you press that QR code and it scans, like if somebody else pulls up their barcode, it scans it and you're automatically connected. Right. And so all of your most recent connections are up top when you go to manage my network, unless you do it differently. Like I think you can do it alphabetically. But then I would go through that from the day before and just send a little message, hey, what's up? Nice to see you. if you want to spend some time, one-on-one, let's get together. If not, we'll just see each other in the next networking event.
Yeah.
Super cash, no stress, no anything.
So
and folks,
perfect.
if you don't know Deborah Mathias, friend of the show, she's been on before. Go find her 2 episodes. Connect2clients.com. It doesn't matter where in the world you live. This woman will make you better.
She is the
best. And we say that about very few people.
Man, she is the best.
But you can live anywhere in the world and she will make you better.
Yeah, I had a funny story. I told Deborah the other day, I had a LinkedIn trainer reach out to me that lives somewhere else in this country, and he's reached out to me probably about 4 or 5 times. And I very politely told him the first time, I work with Deborah. I won't give anybody else's, anybody else my referrals, but Deborah. But he just keeps on. He's very persistent.
And there's something to be said for persistency, because persistency is good, but I think you hit the nail on the head, because nothing irks me more than when I meet someone at a networking event and then the very next conversation or communication I have from them is like, here's my flyer about all my services, or here's my sales pitch. And I'm like, you're totally missing the freaking point about what it is to network. I don't care what your sales pitch is.
If you tell stories, and Trinity is 100% referral. So she's told numerous stories. She get calls from people like that. I can help you advertise your business to triple it. It's like, hey, dumbass.
And then I'm like,
dumbass,
hey,
you did not do your homework on me.
And I'm so nice to them. I get the cold call, I answer it, because for the most part, I try to answer my phone, because you just never know when it's a client or somebody that's going to be a client calling. And I get calls from all over the country, because I'll have people that are referred to me that are moving here from wherever. And I answer those calls, and I can always tell as soon as it's a telemarketer or a salesperson. And as soon as they start do their speech, their spiel, I'm like, hey, time out. I'm not your ideal client. I work 100% by referral. I'm never going to pay for any marketing. And I've actually had people yell at me telling me, you're missing business and you're leaving it on the table. And I was like, now any future business that I might have where I'd want to use that service, because not every service is set up to be 100% by referral. So maybe I would need your service sometime, but now I think you're a dick, and I'm pardon my French. Now I'm never going to refer your business again.
And people like that have numbers to hit. They're they're like, they don't care about anything.
I had a kid, gosh, he's probably in his mid-20s. I live out in the country. And so he knocked on my door and said that he was a pest control guy, and that he was taking care of this person, naming names, this person, which is what you're supposed to do when you're trying to gain new clients, especially if you're knocking on somebody's door. But I was like, look, man, your pitch is great. You're great so far. But I have somebody that does my pest control that is in my BNI, or a BNI that I've been visiting. And so that's who gets my business. Yeah. And he was like, well, what if I lower the price to here? I'm like, again, dude, you're great.
Right.
But I was like, I'll connect with you on LinkedIn, because he didn't have a card. I was like, I'll connect with you on LinkedIn, tell me your name. And he did. And so I connected with him on LinkedIn immediately and sent him a message, say, it was nice to meet you. I appreciate you stopping by. Right. But I was very loyal to the people that, that is in my referral.
And I think that the people who are out there and doing the cold calling and doing the work, and they have their boots on the ground, as Mike likes to say, they are missing the part of what happens after you cold call, because we had a guy come by the other day to our house, and he was trying to sell us security system. Same thing. I have security through Tom Adams. He's going to be on the show next week. He's freaking awesome. I absolutely adore him and Brian, and I watch security, and I'm never going to switch from them.
No.
But the kid that came, he had a really good spiel. Scott came in and was like, is there any way? And I'm like, no way we would ever switch. But I'm thinking that kid should follow up with us, because who knows, I might know somebody that's looking to hire, or he wants to leave. And I'm like, hey, I know that you're a good salesperson. So there's validity there for some reason to continue that relationship.
Agreed 100%.
One of the things you talk about, you live it, which is even better. You live it. Taking care of your connections. Now you're walking into Trinity's event tonight. What's going through your mind of connections, people they're looking for this, looking for that? How do you take care of them when you walk in there as Clint?
Man, it's it can't be, it's nothing I plan. Like it just, for me, it's just organic, you know? So just having conversations, feeling who's best for who, and then introducing people as, you know, to them and taking care of that relationship in that way. It's like, hey, I think you guys can do business together. Like today I was on a call for 30 minutes with this woman that is starting a new nonprofit. And I know a lot of people that do nonprofit work. And so I was like, you know, we talked for like 20 minutes. I was like, okay, I feel comfortable with you. You know, we hit it off on the phone. I was like, you need to talk to this person. You need to talk to this person. You need to talk to this person. She was like, can you give me a warm introduction? I was like, the people that I told you about, you don't need an introduction. Just tell them that I said that you needed to talk to them, and that's all they need.
Right.
Like, I don't need to send an email saying, hey, this person, meet this person. You just need to say, hey, Clint said that I could give you a call because you do nonprofit work, or you were looking to get into nonprofit work. And then I said, it's just a conversation from there. I said, because these are all my friends. Like everybody that I network with, they're my friends. Like I met Deborah 2.5 years ago. She's my friend.
Yeah.
You know, I don't talk to her every day, but you know, it's just the connections that you make out there and the way that you build those relationships. Like you don't have to, probably have buddies from high school or college that you haven't talked to in 20 years, but you can probably send a text, say, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
You know, how's things?
And I was just going to say, you and Deborah know that if the other one has a question,
yeah.
A, send it anytime.
Yep.
B, I got you.
Yeah, because anybody I send Deborah, because I send very few people to Deborah because I value her relationship so much. So, but when I send people to her, and I'm like, look, she's going to do this, and this for you, so be ready. Don't go to Deborah unprepared, because if you go to her unprepared, she's going to be like, look, you need to come back to me when you have this, and this done. So it's like Deborah and I know each other. We work off each other so well that, you know, it's an easy connection for that one.
Do you remember the first networking event you went to in any capacity?
Man, that's a good question. Yes, actually I do. It was a Hillsborough Chamber after hours event. I had just joined the Hillsborough Chambers probably 3 months after I started Business World with Spectrum. And the treasurer, her name is Amy, she was a huge fan of mine. And she was like, Clint, I have somebody that you have to meet. Her name is Denise. You have to meet her. She knows everybody. And if she doesn't know them, she will get to know them, right? And come to find out, that's absolutely true. And Denise is like probably one of my better friends now. Like, I mean, it's not, we get together once every other Friday for lead sharing. Just her and I sitting out at a picnic table outside of her apartment complex, sipping some wine, talking, and then giving referrals and leads if we see necessary. If not, we just sit around and have some wine.
You went there by yourself, but knew somebody.
To the networking event? Yes. So I had just become a member of the chamber, so I knew Amy, and I knew she was going to be there. And I mean, I live in Hillsborough, so it's like 3 minutes from my house where we're going to this networking event, and I'm going to know somebody. But one of my strong suits is I don't really have to know anybody to talk to people. I guess that's an extrovert, right? So I don't really have to know people to talk to people. But it definitely helped. It definitely helped to know that Amy was there. It helped me because that's the first one I ever went to. So it helped me kind of calm some of the anxiety. You know, I didn't know all these meditation tricks and stuff like that then. You know, just take a couple deep breaths, you know, refocus your mind. You'll be fine. But no, I didn't know any of that then. So it was kind of nerve-wracking. But
ooh, I'm super excited to talk about that on our next episode.
Yeah. And we working with clients, when we talk about networking, and you kind of hit the nail on the head the first time, is go with a wingman.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we preach, do not expect any sales, none whatsoever. So if you even get a hint of one, it was a great night. Because going back to old school sales, but boss, I got 25 business cards from last night. And not a drip of business.
Right. And so, you know, but meeting Denise that one day has turned into with the Spectrum job, thousands of dollars in business for me. And so it was just that relationship. I didn't make a sale that night, but I made a friend, number one, which is way more important than any sale you're going to make.
Yes.
But two, she sends me all of her peoples. Yeah. And I've met people because of her. And when they were saying she knows everybody, she literally knows everybody in Hillsborough. So if I need anything, my first call, Denise Carrillo. She's my first call every time. It's like, hey, I need you to make me to send me an email or tell this person that, you know, random story about me or something, just so I can have an in there, or just tell them that I want to stop by and say hey. And she does it all the time.
And we talk about this in BNI. Business Networking International, if you're not familiar with it, we all stand up and say, I'm Mike, and then repeat what you do. Snooze City, right?
Yeah.
So you stand up and you give the benefit. Hey, we can give you time back. We're such good coaches. We can put a system in place for you. We can give you time back. Okay, now the benefit. So the next thing we're getting to is just want to meet connectors. Want to meet the person you know that knows everybody else.
Right.
Just that's all we want from you.
Yeah, I never go to a networking event expecting to make money.
No, you can't.
Ever.
Can't. And that's new and hard to understand.
Well, you're putting too much pressure on yourself.
God,
and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You don't need to work like that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and networking is a process.
Yeah.
It's not a one-time thing.
Man.
It is a process.
how many conversations I've had about that, man?
Yeah.
Like, telling people, oh, I went to this networking event and I never saw any returns. Like, I went for 6 months before I started seeing returns, because you know why? Because I kept showing up. I was consistent. I was present.
Yes.
And all the time. And, people, I've sold things from networking events I wasn't even at, because the people one of them that I may have missed one time, like a North Hills event for a Stevens event, I missed it one time. I got a call the next day after I missed the event saying, hey, I met somebody there after I was talking to them about my internet issues, saying that I needed to talk to the Spectrum guy.
It's like your nonprofit lady. Just call and tell them Clint sent you.
That's it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's
all
it.
right, real quick, give me two good tips for somebody going to networking that doesn't like networking, or is an introvert or new to this.
Man.
Give me two things they need to think about.
So first things first, I said it earlier, don't go by yourself. I will be the biggest proponent of that, just because it's so much easier you just feel better about yourself, because you're not so self-conscious that you're just going to stand there on the wall like Poindexter by yourself for
and it
an
shows.
hour. It really does.
It shows.
I mean, you can see it in people's eyes when they walk in and they're very intimidated. There's a couple hundred people there. They're like, they walk in all excited and happy-eyed, and they're like,
Oh, man.
who do I start with?
Yeah.
Right. And then the most important thing, again, pick the one person that you like. Walk in, you see a person, just go talk to them. Don't think about it. Get out of your own head. Just go up there and talk to them. It could be the first person you see, could be the 30th person you see. Just scan the room, say, hey, they look like somebody that would be okay. Let's go talk to them.
Cool.
And just develop a relationship, start a conversation.
All right, folks.
I would, sorry.
No, good.
No, I'm just, I would add to that, dress for the clients that you want.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times that I've showed up to networking events and those people that are sloppy or, should have changed their shirt before they came or whatever it is,
True.
those go in the left pocket.
Yeah,
because
sure,
if you don't have
absolutely.
enough self-respect to get yourself at least semi-presentable, bye.
Absolutely. 100% agree.
If you want to go to LinkedIn, connect with Clint, but come with game, but not sales game.
Please.
Hey, Clint, I got your name from so-and-so. I heard you on the Wired to Change podcast. Would love to connect with you. Period.
That's it.
He'll get back with you.
I don't
With
need
that
anything
approach, he'll get back with you.
Absolutely.
If you give him hey, I heard what you're talking about. Man, I can really help you in your business, which, of course, we didn't talk much about, so they can't give you that line.
Yeah.
So, but if you want to learn, he'll even give you 15 minutes on the phone, just some networking tips.
Yeah.
I'll even volunteer him for that because I know
why
he
not?
would. So,
yeah, absolutely.
But he would do that because you might make a friend out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Every conversation is an opportunity.
It is.
So, if it's a friendship opportunity, if it's a business opportunity, if it's a networking friend opportunity, it's just an opportunity.
Networking is part of your sales and marketing plan. It has to be.
100%.
But go with a wingman. You are absolutely right. Anything else you want to add
No.
before we sign off here?
I'm done now.
All right. We will see you next time on our Wired to Change podcast.